guys up there.
Uso.
Uso.
Yeah. Are we Usos?
We,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
We are.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. That's official now. So we are Usos. Listen, when Daniel Dubois became the world champion, and then when he knocked out Anthony Joshua, it felt like a collective will from boxing fans all around the world for you to be the next guy, for you to be the guy that's most deserving of the shot. What do you think that is? And how did you feel when you saw everyone just going, well, he's got to fight Parker, he's got to fight Parker?
You know what? Firstly, Dubois done very well. You know, he's come through Miller, Herkovich, and then Joshua and put on a great performance and got that big knockout in front of everyone in attendance and everyone watching around the world. And myself, Andy, and George, we've been waiting for a fight for a while now. The last fight we had was in March against Zhang. And these fights that we had with Wilder and Zhang, no one really wanted those fights at the time. And we're like the team, they'll fight anyone and everyone. And we've been waiting for a while, so we thought it was time for us to get a big fight. And Dubois was, coming off a great win, high in confidence, was the perfect match for us.
And everyone wanted Joe Parker to get the shot as well. That must have been nice.
It's nice. It's nice to have the boxing community and supporters push for the fight as well. Like I said, we've just been waiting and building and being patient. And now our opportunity is here to fight for the championship of the world.
Again. Chance to be two-time, right?
Two-time world champion sounds very nice.
Would it mean more this time if you get it?
The first time it meant a lot because that's what everyone wants to fight for when you're in boxing, and you want to, fight for your dad. In my case, my dad, coach, countries. But this time feels a bit different. I'm a lot more. I got a wife and kids. I'm a lot more mature. I got a different team. I got Andy Lee looking after all the boxing and master and teacher, and I got George looking after all the strength conditioning, nutrition. So I feel like we got a very small but close team that does great work. And this time will be different. Be different going into this fight. I'm a lot more. I love the opportunity of fighting for the world title, and I'm going to make the most of it.
He's calling you a veteran. Are you a veteran now, Joe? Is that what you are?
I've been in the game for a long time, but I feel like I've only just started. I feel like now, I love what I do every day. I never used to before. It was a jog. Now I love what I do every day. And, I feel like I've only just begun.
I've been following your YouTube. I was speaking to you about it earlier. There's you had no Christmas, no New Year, no birthday. You've sacrificed a lot to just put everything into this camp, right? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I was away from my family for Christmas, but they flew to Ireland to surprise me for New Year's and my birthday. On my birthday, we trained twice. It's not really, I wouldn't call it sacrifice. I would call it, when you love what you do and when you have good balance in life, everything just runs smoothly. I get time to see the family. I train hard, I rest well, I eat good. And I just, like I said, I love it more now. And I enjoy it every day. So I wouldn't call it a sacrifice. I mean, you miss out on birthdays, you miss out on Christmas and New Year's, but it comes with what we do. And if you want to be a champion, you got to do these things.
You've got this thing where you take on big punchers who knock everyone out, and then they can't knock you out. Anthony Joshua had knocked out everyone until he ran into Joe Parker. He couldn't knock you out. Deontay Wilder knocked out pretty much everyone. Ran into Joe Parker. He couldn't knock you out. You've eaten. What is it about you that just diffuses these bombs?
You know what? When I say we, it's myself, Randy, and George and the team. We're always the underdogs going into fights. And this person's going to knock me out, or this person's going to knock me out. But I train very hard. And then I leave it up to Andy to come up with a good game plan. And if I can execute the game plan with whoever I'm fighting, we're able to nullify what other fighters do. And that it shows how good of a team we are and how good we work together.
His confidence is sky high right now. Every time I see him at events, he's got a new suit on.
Yeah.
He's walking around like he's 10 feet tall. He's walking around like he owns the place. What are you making of him?
He's confident, outside the ring and in the ring. And money and fame does change people. Not change people, it does make people sort of brings up more of who they are. And he's a lot more confident, which is great. And sometimes, you know, in the media, it looks like he might be overlooking, which is a great thing for us because, you know, he might be focused on this fight, but he wants something else in the future. But I think it's very important to focus on the fight in front of it because we are prepared for everything he's going to bring.
Listen, all the chat was Deontay Wilder comes through Joe Parker, he's going to fight AJ. As long as AJ beats Wallin. We've seen Daniel Dubois literally get in the ring, nick a mic off of Alexander Usyk and say, I want my revenge. If that's not overlooking, what is?
Yeah, listen, it's, you know, there's always fights that they're going to try to set up in the future. Just have to focus on now in the present time and what's in front of you.
So you think he is overlooking you, though?
Could be. But, you know, just maybe it's just the confidence that he's gotten with those wins under his belt.
What do you make of being around him? I saw a very kind of borderline awkward fist bump exchange when you were in Riyadh together. What are you making of him?
You know, being around him, I feel like he's just a shy guy. Or shy doesn't say a lot, but when he's in the ring, he shows something else. It just shows that he's focused on what he wants to do, you know? Wants to train, wants to get in shape, wants to fight. And maybe the talking is not really his strong point or communicating.
It's a big fist bump. Big fist bump he gave you. That was like proper stuck it in.
Yeah, he must be angry. He must be angry, I don't know.
How do you beat him?
I beat him with experience, beat him with movement and speed, and I beat him with power.
When you were going to fight Deontay Wilder, I remember speaking to Andy actually beforehand, and a lot of the chat was, we're going to fight fire with fire here. That's what we're going to do to approach Deontay Wilder. Is it a similar kind of thinking heading into this?
You know, we've only had 3 weeks of camp. We've got another 6 weeks before the fight. Whatever Andy comes up with, I'll follow. If it's fire with fire, I'll do that. If it's move and jab and, you know, slip and counter, I'll do that. He'll come up with one very soon.
Listen, one more. How have you turned all this around? Because I remember that Joe Joyce fight. I remember your post-fight presser. I come in and see you actually afterwards, and you were, you know, bruised up. You looked down, beaten, bruised. I would never have thought, a couple of years' time, this guy's beating everyone, and he could be about to become a two-time world champion. How have you done all that?
It's finding what works for you. Self-belief, persevering, resilience. That's believing in yourself. And it doesn't matter what anyone else says. I always knew that I could get to the top, and I found what works for me. Andy Lee, George Lockhart, myself. Best team in the business.
Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, Uso.
Uso.